Katt Williams just dropped the most explosive truth bomb about Hollywood that nobody saw coming, and it involves Jim Carrey in a way that's going to make you question everything you thought you knew about the entertainment industry. I'm talking about Williams, straight up exposing why Hollywood allegedly replaced Jim Carrey with what people are calling a clone or body double, and why this supposed replacement was banned from the Oscars. Now, before you think this sounds absolutely insane, hear me out. Because when you connect the dots between what Katt Williams has been saying about Hollywood for years, Jim Carrey's own warnings about the industry, and what just happened at the César Awards in Paris in February 2026, things start looking really suspicious. And I mean really suspicious, bro. Let's start with what actually happened at the César Awards, because this is where everything went completely off the rails. On February 26, 2026, Jim Carrey made a rare public appearance to accept an honorary Lifetime Achievement Award at France's version of the Oscars. The 64-year-old actor, who had basically been in hiding for the past couple of years, showed up looking completely different from the Jim Carrey everyone knows and loves. And I'm not talking about normal aging here. People who watched the ceremony immediately started saying this doesn't look like the same person. His face appeared fuller, smoother, almost porcelain-like. His eyes looked different, more hazel green instead of the warm brown everyone remembers. And here's where it gets really weird. Jim Carrey is left-handed. He's been a textbook lefty his entire 40-year career. But at the César Awards, he was signing autographs with his right hand. Think about that for a second. You don't just suddenly switch which hand you write with after 64 years of life. The internet absolutely exploded with conspiracy theories. Social media was flooded with people saying, "That's not Jim Carrey. He's unrecognizable. This is some Truman Show stuff." And even Jim Carrey was cloned and killed by Satanists. Now, the César Awards organizers immediately tried to shut down all the rumors. Gregory Collier, the general delegate, came out and said the clone theory was a massive non-issue. He confirmed that Carrey had been planning the trip for months, practicing his French pronunciation, and attended the event with his daughter, grandson, and close friends. They even said his longtime publicist was there. But here's the problem. The more the establishment tried to deny it, the more suspicious people became. Because if you've been paying attention to what Katt Williams has been warning us about for years, you know that this is exactly the kind of thing Hollywood does when someone becomes too dangerous to control. Now, let me tell you about Katt Williams' infamous Club Shay Shay interview from January 2024, because this is where he laid out the entire playbook for how Hollywood operates. In that nearly 3-hour conversation with Shannon Sharpe, Williams said something that should have sent chills down everyone's spine. He declared, "All these big deviants are catching hell in 2024. All lies will be exposed." And bro, he was not playing around. Williams went after Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Diddy, Tyler Perry, and basically everyone in Hollywood who he believes sold their soul for fame. But the most important thing Williams revealed wasn't about any specific celebrity. It was about the system itself. He explained that Hollywood is run by people who value the brand more than the human being. According to Williams, they can kill the man and keep the ghost on payroll. Think about that statement. He's saying that when a star becomes uncontrollable or threatens to reveal too much, the industry protects its billion-dollar assets through whatever means necessary, including the use of body doubles or what he called psychological reprogramming. Williams has been warning about this for years, but people thought he was just being a controversial comedian stirring up drama. But then look at what happened in 2024. Diddy got arrested on sex trafficking charges. Harvey Weinstein's victims finally got justice. R. Kelly is rotting in prison. All the things Williams said were happening behind closed doors in Hollywood started getting proven true. So when he talks about Hollywood being willing to replace people who step out of line, maybe we should start listening. Because Jim Carrey is exactly the type of person Williams would be talking about. Carrey spent years publicly mocking Hollywood's Illuminati rituals and the mask of celebrity. He went on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2014 and literally did the Illuminati hand symbol while saying he was sick and tired of the secrets and lies. He claimed that TV personalities are hired by the government to keep people distracted and docile. He said they meet naked in the woods to decide these things. That's a direct reference to Bohemian Grove and other elite gatherings that conspiracy theorists have been talking about for decades. And it didn't stop there. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars and the entire room gave Smith a standing ovation, Jim Carrey was the only major celebrity who publicly condemned the crowd. He called Hollywood spineless en masse and expressed absolute disgust with the industry's moral compass. Then he gave that bizarre Fashion Week interview in 2017 where he said there's no meaning to any of this, that celebrities don't exist, that we're all just clusters of energy dancing for ourselves. The mainstream media tried to paint him as crazy, saying he had flipped out or was having a mental breakdown. But looking back now, it seems more like he was trying to wake people up to the illusion. He was telling us that the entertainment industry is a con, that the personas we see on screen aren't real, and that Hollywood is controlled by dark forces. And for saying all of that, for refusing to play the game anymore, Carrey essentially disappeared from public life. Now, here's where things get really dark. In November 2024, at the Vulture Festival, Katt Williams admitted that his Club Shay Shay interview wasn't just him venting or being petty. He said, "I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically. When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people that I was talking about." This man literally said he was trying to end careers. And he succeeded. The interview got 83 million views on YouTube. It destroyed reputations. It forced conversations about things Hollywood wanted to keep buried. Williams even said, "I'm anti-establishment, so I can never be the establishment. Even if I'm at the Diddy party, I'm there to tell. I'm there to see who the hell is in here and what do y'all get from being in here. So nobody likes to have me around. I'm there for bad intentions." That's a man who understands he's putting himself at risk by speaking out, but he's doing it anyway because somebody has to. So when Williams talks about Hollywood replacing people who become liabilities, we have to consider that Jim Carrey fits that description perfectly. Carrey was one of the biggest movie stars on the planet, the first actor to make $20 million for a single film, a global icon with massive influence. But he started questioning everything publicly. He stopped playing his character. He refused to attend industry events. He criticized the system that made him rich and famous. And according to the dark logic that Katt Williams describes, that makes Carrey a problem that needs to be dealt with. The industry can't just let someone with that much cultural influence walk around telling people that Hollywood is fake, that celebrity worship is meaningless, and that there are secret elite gatherings controlling what we see on our screens. That's bad for business. That threatens the entire illusion. Adding fuel to the conspiracy fire, a drag artist named Alexis Stone posted on Instagram right after the Caesar Awards claiming that he was the one who attended the event disguised as Jim Carrey. Stone, who's famous for creating hyper-realistic prosthetic masks and has impersonated celebrities like Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, and even the Mona Lisa painting, shared photos of what appeared to be a Jim Carrey mask with teeth, a wig, and everything needed to fool people. The post showed the mask laid out on a table with the Eiffel Tower visible in the background, suggesting he was in Paris. Now, the Caesar Awards organizers and Carrey's representatives immediately denied this, saying Stone was just trolling for viral engagement. But the damage was done. Millions of people saw those images and started questioning whether the person who accepted that award was really Jim Carrey or an imposter. There's also the resurfaced clip from decades ago where Carrey appeared on Late Night with David Letterman and talked about using decoys to fool paparazzi. He said, "I've done this a few times now, and that is to use a decoy. Using a decoy, it sounds so ridiculous, but it works like a charm. A Jim Carrey double. I send him off in one direction, he sucks all the press in that direction, and I just have my day." Now, using a decoy to avoid photographers is one thing. But if Carrey has admitted on television that he uses body doubles, is it really that crazy to think Hollywood might use the same tactic for more sinister purposes? Especially if the real Jim Carrey has become too much of a liability? Medical experts who analyzed the Caesar Awards footage pointed out some concerning things. Dr. Jeffrey Spiegel, a facial plastic surgeon, suggested that Carrey appeared to have undergone extensive Botox treatments and something called threading, which is a procedure typically designed for women's faces. The doctor noted the oddly arched eyebrows and unnatural pull in Carrey's cheeks. But others argued that the changes went beyond normal cosmetic procedures. The fact that his eyes appeared to be a different color, that he was using the wrong hand to sign autographs, and that his entire presence seemed subdued compared to the energetic rubber-faced performer everyone knows, all of this suggested something more was going on. Some plastic surgeons even said that the work appeared to have been done to erase Carrey's humanity, to turn him into a smooth, porcelain replica of himself. And if you're trying to replace someone with a body double or clone, that's exactly what you would do. You'd make them look similar enough to pass casual inspection, but you'd lose all the specific details and quirks that made the original person unique. Now, about the Oscars connection. Why would Jim Carrey's alleged clone or body double be banned from the Oscars? Well, think about it. The Academy Awards is the biggest stage in Hollywood. It's broadcast to hundreds of millions of people worldwide. It's where the industry celebrates itself and controls the narrative. If there's any truth to the theory that Carrey has been replaced, the Oscars would be way too risky. Too many cameras, too many close-ups, too many people who would notice inconsistencies. The César Awards in France made sense as a test run. It's a prestigious event, but it's not under the same intense scrutiny as the Oscars. It's a foreign ceremony where most American audiences wouldn't be watching closely. But the Oscars? That's a different level entirely. If this supposed replacement showed up at the Oscars, the entire facade could fall apart on live television. According to Katt Williams' worldview, this is exactly how Hollywood operates. They isolate people who become problems. They control the narrative. They use their massive resources and connections to make sure the truth never fully comes out. And if someone like Jim Carrey has genuinely been replaced, either through a body double, extensive cosmetic alteration, or whatever method we can barely comprehend, the Oscars would be off limits. Too much risk of exposure. Too many industry insiders who might recognize that something's wrong. Better to keep the supposed replacement doing carefully controlled appearances at foreign award shows where the scrutiny is less intense. The pattern fits too perfectly to ignore. Jim Carrey warns about Hollywood's dark secrets and Illuminati control. He publicly criticizes the industry. He goes into semi-retirement, barely appearing in public. Then, suddenly, in early 2026, someone who looks sort of like Jim Carrey but is significantly different in key ways shows up at an award ceremony in France. The internet immediately calls it out. The establishment rushes to deny everything. And in the background, Katt Williams, who has been exposing Hollywood's secrets for years and specifically warned about this exact type of replacement strategy, is proven right once again. Whether it's literally a clone, a body double, extensive plastic surgery designed to control him, or some combination of all three, the message is clear. Hollywood does not tolerate whistleblowers. And if you become too dangerous, they will find a way to neutralize you while keeping your brand alive to continue making money. The most chilling part of all this is how it ties back to what both Carrey and Williams have been saying about the nature of reality and identity in Hollywood. Carrey's entire career has been about playing with the concept of identity. The Truman Show asked if our lives are just sets. The Mask explored the idea of putting on a persona. Man on the Moon showed how deeply an actor could lose themselves in a character. And now, in what might be his final act, Carrey may have become the ultimate example of his own philosophical warnings. The man who warned us that Jim Carrey doesn't really exist, that it's just a character he played, might have been literally replaced by someone else playing that same character. The irony is almost too perfect to be accidental. Katt Williams put his reputation and possibly his safety on the line to expose these truths. In a recent interview with Theo Von, Williams acknowledged that he's aware of the risks involved in speaking out against Hollywood's elite. He said, "I'm honored to get to say the things that I say when I'm saying them, because I operate from a positive standpoint in all things." But he also knows that talking about these things makes him a target. The fact that he continues to do it anyway, that he continues to warn us about body doubles, clones, and the industry's willingness to replace people who step out of line, shows how serious he is about this message. This isn't comedy to him. This is truth-telling that happens to come from a comedian. At the end of the day, whether you believe Jim Carrey has been literally cloned or replaced, or whether you think this is all just speculation and coincidence, one thing is undeniable. Something is seriously wrong with what we saw at the César Awards. The person who accepted that award looked wrong, acted wrong, and even wrote with the wrong hand. And when you combine that with everything Katt Williams has been exposing about Hollywood's dark practices, everything Jim Carrey himself warned us about before he disappeared, and the establishment's desperate attempts to shut down all questions and speculation, you start to realize that maybe the conspiracy theorists aren't as crazy as the mainstream media wants you to think. Maybe Hollywood really does have secrets so dark that they're willing to do whatever it takes to protect them. And maybe Jim Carrey's warning about the mask we all wear wasn't just a metaphor. Maybe he was trying to tell us that the entire industry is one giant mask, and if you try to take it off, they'll just put a new one on for you, whether that's at the Oscars or anywhere else.